This is an AI avatar of Lesix founder Rob Lee. Script produced using a custom-trained AI employee in Claude. Video produced using HeyGen. Now, let's begin. Hey there, real estate professionals. Today, we're diving into something that can make or break your brokerage's success. Team collaboration. I've seen countless brokerages where talented individual agents struggle to work together effectively. The result? Dropped balls, frustrated clients, and money left on the table. But I've also seen what happens when teams get collaboration right. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to walk you through 5 proven strategies to optimize how your team works together. Whether you're managing a small team of 3 or a large brokerage with 50+ agents, these tactics will help you create a more efficient, profitable operation. Let's start with communication systems. This is the foundation of everything else. Most brokerages make the same mistake. They start with informal communication, quick calls, casual text messages, notes jotted down on whatever's handy. This works when you're small, but as you grow, things fall through the cracks. A Keller Williams team in Colorado recognized this problem. They were growing quickly, and deals were starting to slip through the cracks. Missing contract deadlines, forgetting to follow up with leads. You know the drill. So they implemented 2 key changes. First, they started daily huddles. Just 15 minutes each morning where everyone shared their top priorities for the day and identified any bottlenecks. This created accountability and made sure everyone knew what was happening. Second, they created a digital dashboard tracking every transaction. Each property had its own tracking page with all documents, communication history, and upcoming deadlines visible to the entire team. The results? Within 6 months, they saw a 34% increase in closed transactions. And more importantly, they completely eliminated missed contract deadlines. Here's how you can implement this in your brokerage. Start with a communication hierarchy. Define what belongs in. Urgent real-time channels like phone calls or text messages. Daily updates through huddles or messaging platforms like Slack. Documentation systems where information lives permanently. Keep it simple at first. Don't try to implement everything at once. Begin with daily huddles and one centralized system for tracking transactions. Then build from there. Remember, the goal isn't just more communication, it's more effective communication. Every message should have a clear purpose and reach exactly the people who need it. No more, no less. Let's talk about client handoffs. This is where many teams struggle. Clients hate feeling like they're being passed around from person to person, having to repeat themselves, or worse, getting conflicting information. Here's a common scenario. A lead comes in. The ISA qualifies them and passes them to an agent. The agent shows properties. Then the transaction coordinator takes over after an offer is accepted. Finally, the client success manager handles post-closing follow-up. That's 4 different handoffs. Each one is an opportunity for things to go wrong. One team at eXp Realty tackled this challenge by creating a specific handoff protocol. They documented exactly what information needed to be exchanged at each transition point. For example, when passing a client from ISA to agent, they require client's preferred communication method and times, notes on all previous conversations, key priorities the client has mentioned, any concerns or hesitations the client has expressed. They also implemented a warm handoff policy. The team member who currently owns the relationship does a direct introduction, explaining why the next person is better equipped to help the client at this stage. The results? Even though clients interacted with multiple team members, the team maintained a 95% client satisfaction score. Here's how to create effective handoff processes in your brokerage. First, map out every point where a client might transition between team members. Second, create a template for each handoff with required information that must be passed along. Third, implement a system for warm handoffs where both team members briefly connect with the client together. And finally, Build client feedback into the process. After each handoff, check in to make sure they feel the transition was smooth. Remember, your clients don't care about your internal structure. To them, you're all one company. They expect a consistent experience regardless of who they're working with. Now, let's get into the tools that make collaboration possible. The real estate industry has a technology problem. We're either using outdated systems that don't talk to each other, or we're chasing every shiny new app that promises to revolutionize the business. What you need is a thoughtful tech stack that enables collaboration without overwhelming your team. Let's break this down into 3 essential categories. First, you need a CRM that your entire team actually uses. Notice I said uses, not just has access to. There's a big difference. Look for one with these features: contact and property records visible to the appropriate team members, activity tracking so everyone can see the history of client interactions, task assignment and accountability, mobile access for updates on the go. Some popular options include Follow-Up Boss, Wise Agent, and Chime. But the specific platform matters less than how consistently your team uses it. Second, you need a project management system for transaction coordination. This is different from your CRM. It's focused on moving deals from contract to closing. Key features should include deadline tracking and automated reminders, document storage and e-signature capabilities, checklists for each stage of the transaction, client access to view progress. Options like Dotloop, Skyslope, and paperless pipeline are popular for this purpose. Third, you need collaboration tools for your team's internal work. This might include a messaging platform like Slack for quick communication, video conferencing for team meetings, shared documents for collective work, knowledge base for training and resources. The eXp Realty team I mentioned earlier use their proprietary platform, but tools like G Suite, Microsoft Teams, or Slack can work just as well. The key to successful tech adoption isn't just choosing the right tools, it's how you implement them. Start with proper training. Don't just assume people will figure it out. Create standard operating procedures for how each tool should be used. And most importantly, lead by example. If leadership isn't using the systems consistently, the rest of the team won't either. Now let's talk about measuring team collaboration. Most brokerages only track individual performance, number of listings taken, sales volume, commission earned. These metrics create internal competition, not collaboration. If you want a collaborative team, you need to measure and reward collaborative behaviors. The Keller Williams team I mentioned earlier implemented several new metrics beyond individual sales: referrals between team members, client satisfaction scores, transaction completion efficiency, error rates and documentation, response time to clients and team members. These metrics showed a more complete picture of how the team was functioning together. They even created a monthly collaboration MVP award based on these metrics. This publicly recognized team members who might not have the highest sales numbers but contributed significantly to the team's overall success. Here's how you can implement better collaboration metrics. First, decide what collaborative behaviors you want to encourage. Is it knowledge sharing, client handoffs, marketing support? Second, create simple ways to track these behaviors. This could be as basic as a shared spreadsheet or as sophisticated as reports from your CRM. Third, make these metrics visible to the entire team. What gets measured and shared gets done. And finally, tie some portion of compensation or recognition to these collaborative metrics. Remember, your team will prioritize whatever you measure. If you only measure individual performance, don't be surprised when collaboration suffers. Let's talk about the final and perhaps most important element: culture. You can have the best systems, processes, and tools in the world, but if your culture doesn't support collaboration, none of it will matter. Douglas Elliman provides an excellent case study. They implemented a knowledge-sharing initiative where top-performing agents regularly conduct internal training sessions for their colleagues. On the surface, this might seem counterintuitive. Why would top producers spend time teaching potential competitors? But the results were remarkable. They saw a measurable increase in company-wide transactions and a 23% improvement in agent retention over 18 months. The reason? When you create a culture of mutual support, everyone rises together. Here are some practical ways to build this culture. First, create structured opportunities for knowledge sharing. This could be lunch and learns, internal training sessions, or mentorship programs. Second, recognize and reward those who help others. Make team player behaviors just as prestigious as high sales numbers. Third, model the behavior yourself. As a broker or team leader, be transparent about your own challenges and openly seek input from team members. Fourth, be intentional about hiring for collaborative mindsets. The lone wolf agent might have impressive individual numbers, but they can damage your team culture. Finally, create space for social connection. Teams that know each other as people, not just colleagues, are more likely to support each other professionally. Remember, culture isn't created through mission statements or values posted on the wall. It's created through daily actions and what you choose to recognize and reward. Let's bring all these elements together. Effective team collaboration in real estate isn't just one thing. It's a system of interconnected elements. Communication systems that scale with your growth, client handoff processes that create seamless experiences, technology that enables rather than complicates collaboration, performance metrics that encourage teamwork. A culture where mutual support is valued and rewarded. When these elements work together, the results can be transformative. Think about the case studies we discussed. A 34% increase in transactions through better communication systems, 95% client satisfaction despite multiple handoffs, 23% improvement in agent retention through knowledge sharing. These aren't just nice stories. They're examples of what's possible when you take team collaboration seriously. So here's what I want you to do next. First, assess your current collaboration strengths and weaknesses. Be honest about where you're falling short. Second, pick just one area from today's video to focus on improving. Don't try to change everything at once. Third, involve your team in creating solutions. The people doing the work every day often have the best insights into what's working and what isn't. And finally, remember that optimization is an ongoing process, not a one-time fix. Schedule regular reviews to refine your collaboration systems as your team evolves. If you found this video helpful, make sure to check out our other resources on brokerage management and team building. Thanks for watching, and here's to building more collaborative, successful real estate teams.